What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Today we're actually digging back into the archives of a previous trip that Abby and I did. This is the one to Ireland, Dublin and Killarney, and unfortunately I have no idea where this footage is. I lost all of my GoPro footage of part of Killarney, Kilkenny, and Galway, which Galway was like our favorite town. I'm going to be listing the places that we went to in each town. My dog is walking around upstairs. We'll wait for him to settle down. So without further ado, this is Ireland. Enjoy. When flying into Dublin, you have several options for transportation to and from the airport to your initial destination. We booked through Costco, so we had a driver meet us at baggage claim holding my wife's name on a piece of paper. That made us feel extremely important. That's a phone, yeah. Yep. We are in our room in Dublin. This is the Dublin Hotel. Really nice.
I don't know how to work this.
Some guy named Dylan lives here. So our trip took place at the end of October. The weather is beautiful and the crowds were minimal. If you go during the summer months, expect the weather to be more on the sunny side, but prepare to deal with crowds of tourists doing annoying and touristy things. So we've been here for a couple hours and we haven't even had a pint yet. Let's go do that. So we're gonna go to the Palace Bar. That'll be the first drink we've had in Ireland. We've been here for how many hours?
Till it's 10, it's 4:30, so 6.5 hours.
Okay, that's pretty good. I think that's might be a record.
I'm surprised we're still standing.
Yeah.
Has been gardening.
Pro tip, if it's late at night, just order some curry chips. Doesn't even matter, don't even ask what it is. I'm promising you, just order them. It's that good. So day one in the books, and make sure you buy yourself plenty of these large, beautiful European bottles of water.
Approximately 10 hours later.
So first true morning in Dublin. And I'm watching the recap of some of the matches.
Has heated floors. This is wet, don't touch it.
I highly recommend staying at the Dublin if you're able to do it. We booked it through Costco. Is that? The Dylan. Yeah, sorry. The Dylan, we booked it through Costco. Otherwise, so what was your best part about yesterday?
Our first pint in, was it the Palace Bar?
Yeah.
And I also loved being at Trinity College and just kind of walking around. You weren't there.
I wasn't there. I was in Muay Thai. A couple things about Dublin that I can tell you confidently. Everyone's very friendly. The bartenders are really nice. Tipping is weird in the United States, where it's like 15 to 20% is what you should tip your bartender. Tipping is more of a, it's less of an obligation and more of a nice little cap. So you don't have to tip, but you should if it's really good service, if the bartender was nice and gave you advice. And they will always be willing to tell you where to go. So always ask for recommendations.
There are sheep. There are sheep on the hill. There are sheep. Oh, there's sheep on the hill! There's... Oh, sheep. And sheep.
Here, so...
Wait, you need to start driving.
So we're currently driving through Ireland. We left Dublin a couple minutes ago. If you've never driven on the left side of the road with a right-hand drive car, it's not nearly as weird as I thought it was going to be. But this drive is 100% worth getting a car. I don't know why anyone would ever take a tour bus around Ireland. This is definitely the way to do it. Typically my rule with B-roll is that I don't let it go for more than a couple seconds, 4 or 5 at most, typically 2. But this drive through the countryside was just so nice that I figured I might as well include it just to give you a sense of what it's like to drive from Dublin through the countryside west. So I hope you enjoy. So right now we're at the Wicklow Mountains, and we're gonna see if this trail is more difficult than advertised. But it can't be worse than the honeycomb, the beehive trail.
The beehive.
Not honeycomb. Same species, different thing altogether.
Waterproof everything. Although the Wicklow Mountains hike isn't really necessarily a hiking trail, it's pretty well paved and it's not very challenging. It's definitely uphill, but even if you're a serious hiker, it's definitely worth it. And I can't recommend this enough. And I made that guy look right there. I'm pretty sure that this gate is just there to keep most large Americans out. I mean, seriously, even with a book bag, I had a really hard time fitting through this, and I'm not big. But Anyway, we got off the beaten path and we found some ruins that were extremely old. I could probably go back and look up exactly how old they are, but I just don't feel like doing it right now. But enjoy these really, really old rocks that someone put together a very, very long time ago. Although we didn't stay in Cork very long, I at least wanted to stop by, because before we went to Ireland, I traced back one of my ancestors who actually lived there and had a family there, so I figured we'd at least stop by. Don't expect Cork to be something that's right out of a history book. It's a pretty modern city, just like Dublin is.
That's not our...
So this lady is someone that we met randomly at our hotel in Killarney. She was at the front desk asking about a hike, and we were also asking about the same hike up Carrantoul, which is the mountain you're about to see. She politely asked if she could get a ride with us, and we of course said yes, because what is a vacation or a trip without some randomness to it? She was extremely helpful, very, very nice. She had climbed Mont Blanc and a bunch of other mountains as well, so she was a very needed addition to our crew, especially on a hike as relatively difficult for the average hiker as Carrantoul. So it really helped Abby while we were descending and also ascending, because it gets pretty dicey at times. Around here is about the part where you start to go from a hike into just a straight up clamber or climb. It's not extremely difficult, but it definitely is taxing if you're not in decent shape. This was a pretty easy climb for us. Wasn't too bad, but I could definitely see why people have a hard time with it. once you're at the top, you're not technically at the top. You still have probably another third of the mountain to go. But the view at the very top is 100% worth whatever struggle it is to get up there. Rather than going down the way that we came up, we decided to go a more difficult route called the Heavenly Gate, and the images do not do this justice as to how steep it is on the one side. If you slip or fall, I don't know how you can actually live after that. But either way, it's a really exciting hike. Just be prepared that the descent on the Heavenly Gate trail is going to be far more difficult than the way up. As I said in the beginning of the video, I lost all of my footage from Galway and part of Killarney and then our trip back to Dublin. This was really disappointing to me because Galway was definitely my favorite city. So instead I'm just going to show you a slideshow of the images that I do have, and I hope you enjoy it.